Hey, Adi. Hello, I'm live. Hey. Welcome to Framer Shows. It's about to go down. You know the name, right? Yep. That's right.
Good music. Your friend
Everybody dies.
Say me near the money. Don't the Mr. Bench.
Framer Shows.
Framer Vision, what you got for me? Framer Show.
Framer don't change my weather.
Framer Show. Framer 5,000, sorry, I know. Framer Show.
Hey.
Finest girl, 1 in a million. She be the finest girl, she conquer billions. So anytime me I see this girl, me I see her, I send her from Jam. She conquer my leisures, make my day. She watch everywhere to bad. Back up, make me run.
This girl will make me shy. To me.
What not yet the other many have more for penny wait here free. Never share Japon. Shama Sana Jawon. When you mean the one to the middle, two for the water, Jawon. Oh, bad, yeah, you couldn't walk yet. Not dream painting, I'm a trainer.
That's right.
In the one will be our trainer. Oh, Cressy Pan Papa, China, in the plus.
Brand of bossy.
Now would tell my piano, yes, to my office. The hottest girl in the world.
I like her.
What you got for me?
Yep, that's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, let's share the video. Welcome to Framer Shows. Let's share the video. That's what I'm doing. That's right. That's right. Hey, that's right. Hey. Dangerous. Hey. Alright, I'm done sharing the video. Hello, welcome to Framer Shows. My name is Coco Bertaboni Framer Shows, the only queen in Kumasi Kwada. So, hey, that's a bronze queen, you know the name, right? Alright, we are going to talk about adoption, legal and illegal. If you want to join me live, or you have a view, or you have any idea what I'm talking about, or you want to share, you have some experience about illegal and legal adoption, please just say hello, or I want to join you, or you can even call me and I'll add you to the video. Makumba so we be team sena. Wama makumba mpwange. I want to say thank you all for joining me. You want to be my guest? Say I want to be your guest. We are going to talk about illegal and illegal adoption in Africa and Ghana. Recently, there was a video that went viral, and I'm also a testimony to that. And I also have the same, I went through the same thing, but thank God I have my own biological children. So the question is, if you adopt children, illegal or legal, what are the consequences of the action? Sometimes we have sympathy that we want to adopt certain children that you think that you can give them a better life, which is I've done tons of them. But end of the day, what taught me is, if I haven't had my own children, what would have happened? Let's go. Hey. For joining me. I want to take time and say thank you for joining me. Equia Big Girl, Eric Opoku, Kumsen, Harriet, Mawafo, Dogby, Na Dukua Ankra, Belinda, Nasi, Dorothy, Siama, Priscilla Opari, low sodium. Oh, low sodium. Wow, fantastic. Strongman KB, Isaac Ninja, and all the other people. Adi Radamson. Anybody who's watching me right now that I cannot see you, hey, you can say hello if you want to be my guest. We are going to talk about illegal or legal adoption in Africa and Ghana, anywhere that you are from. Don't forget to share the video, okay? If you want to be my guest, say I want to be your guest, or say hello, or say something, then I'll add you to the video. Woo! Girls dangerous. Hey, yeah. Woo! Dangerous. Woo! Hey. Music is by Daddy Lumba. Chrissy Wise, thank you very much for joining me, my dear friend. We are going to talk about illegal adoption and legal adoption. What are the consequences of adoption? If you want to be my guest, say I want to be your guest, and I'll add you to the video. As for now, let's share the video so that we have more viewers. Woo! Thank you. Some may be dangerous. Some may be dangerous. Woo! Some guys are dangerous. Some guys are dangerous. Some may be dangerous. Woo! Hey, yeah. Oh. Some guys are dangerous. Some guys are dangerous. Abraham Osman Abayo Azor, thank you very much for joining me. We are going to talk about illegal adoption and legal adoption. If you want to be my guest, say I want to be your guest. Mabel Bean and Frank Owusu are watching me right now. Don Cozy, thank you very much for joining me as well. We are going to talk about illegal adoption and legal adoption in Africa. Man, it's going down. The reason we want to talk about this topic because one of our celebrities, she goes by the name Miss Bell, was a victim, and I've also been a victim for so many occasions. And the question is, if I haven't had my own children, what will come out of me? Is it really important to adopt a child illegal, or is it important to adopt a child legally? Well, let's talk about it. Alisa Santi, thank you very much for joining me. I do want to say a very big thank you to all the viewers who have joined me right now. Perina J, Nyami, and CCK Dovia. Thank you all very much for joining me. We are going to talk about illegal and legal adoption. If you want to be my guest, say, I want to be your guest. Adu Abu Ishmael, thank you very much for joining me. Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah. On him on Jezebel, no put your money on his head. Me oba, me oba, me oba, me oba. It's a winter, so na me. It's your love, I want to go around. Hey, dangerous. Woo! Some girls are dangerous. I do want to say thank you all for joining me. My new Dennis MOC. Yase Wabano, Mami Frema. Thank you for joining me, Beatrice Kubi, Ohimado, and Nana Ekria Owari Redu, and also all the wonderful, beautiful people who have joined me right now. Ohimado, thank you very much for joining me. We are going to talk about illegal adoption and legal adoption. Nyamiba Kromo and Yapokua are watching me right now. Thank you for joining me.
Some girls are dangerous, some girls are dangerous, some
Girls are dangerous.
some girls are dangerous.
And man, you see, yeah, you get up to Let me say a very big shout out to Millicent J.
Some girls are dangerous.
And man, you see, yeah, you get up to Yes, you know. And man, you see, yes, you know. Hey, yeah. Yes, you know. That's right. Hey, haha. Thank you all very much. Adepa Diamond Sweetness, thank you for joining me. Nana Ama Poma, thank you very much for joining me. Today we are going to talk about illegal adoption and adoption in Ghana, Africa. Is it important to adopt, or is it not important to adopt? What are the consequences of illegal adoption and legal adoption? Man, this week it was very nice. I mean, through the Christmas and everything, but things happen for a reason, and I want us to talk and discuss about it, because sometimes we may also learn something from it. Okay, that's right. That's right. All right, thank you very, very much, Evangelist Sophia. Thank you very much for joining me. Well, today we are going to talk about illegal adoption and legal adoption. Well, recently there was one of the... Oh, wow, thank you. That yeah, Adepa Diamond Sweetness. I follow you since 2020. Oh, wow, 2012. You're too much. Wow, thank you very much. Selifu Kadel, thank you very much for joining me. We are going to talk about Joyce Enima. Thank you very much for joining me. We are going to talk about illegal adoption and legal adoption. What are the consequences of illegal adoption? Well, sometimes there's a reason for everything. Your reason may be illegal. Your reason may be like, maybe God has blessed you, or you have a good heart, and you see some children who are struggling, okay, and to you, you just want to do them a favor, but adopting them, giving them a home so that they can grow up to become a better person in society. That is why you and I adopt innocent children, okay? But do we know the consequences of illegal adoption? When I say something is illegal, when you didn't sign any document, when you didn't, you just approach maybe the mother or the father of the child and say, hey, you are not giving the child, or the child is not being fed well, or child is not being taken care of. So I want to give the child a better home. And then you just took the child without any proper document file, without any agreement. Well, recently, what is going on is that if you have adopted a child, I'm going to repeat this again. If you have adopted any children or any child from anywhere without any proper document, without anything legal, please, it's not too late. You need to do some documentation. Do you know what is happening? What is happening is that those women or those parents are coming back for their children. And God help you if you don't have a child of your own. My God, my goodness. There was one celebrity that I'm also a victim of it, but thank God I have my own biological children. But I just decided to give some children's home. So when all these things happen and you didn't file any document, or you didn't do anything legally to adopt the child, this is what happened. Okay, so I remember some time ago I met a young guy. He was just like a little boy, you know, and the young guy was living with his mom. But according to my sources, or what I was told, that the family wasn't the man who was responsible for the pregnancy denied when she was pregnant. So the man gave her option. I'm seeing from the woman's perspective, okay? So the man told her to abort the baby because financially he wasn't ready to get married to her or father a child. So the lady refused to abort the pregnancy. So I took the child home. When I took the child home, I raised the child till she was, I think, 10 years old, and I let the child to stay with my parents. So once the child was with my parents, after JHS, JHS is a middle school, yeah, before you go to secondary school. Then what I heard was like you're going to love this. So that, like I'm saying, if you just join me, we are talking about illegal adoption and legal adoption. And if you are listening to me today and you have adopted any child without any proper document, you need to do the proper document. Because what is happening is, after you raise the child, after you call the child your own, after you bred them and brought them up, what is happening is the families are coming back for their children, or they are coming back for that child. Remember, you have given the child the love and attention and everything, and maybe you have also introduced the child to the whole world that is your baby, and now the real parents are coming for it. All right, so for my story, not only one child that I've adopted, I have a whole lot of children though, but this particular story that I'm giving up, some of them were grown up when I brought them home, and some of them were also babies when I brought them home. Because if you know me from Kumasi, I have tons of children, like females and all the, you know, young boys and everything, that they follow me around. They call me mommy, mommy, mommy. Most of them are some people that I adopted, but not anything legal, because I just like to take care of these innocent children so that I can give them a better home, and so that they can become a better person in the near future. Okay, so back to the story. What happened was, after the girl finished JHS, which is before high school, like I said, or before secondary school, the mother came and said the young lady, or the girl father was in abroad all these years. Yes, all these years he was in abroad, and things have turned around, things are better for him and everything. So now the guy is back looking for his child, and then he wants to take the child back, or take responsibility of the child. Now, if you didn't hear the story, or you weren't here when I started the story, the story was, when the lady got pregnant, the father told her to get abortion or abort the baby because he wasn't ready financially, or he wasn't ready to father a baby. Okay, and the lady decided to have the child no matter what. She was trading on the streets, raining and all that. The baby is always on her back and all that. And I felt like, you know, I have a home. I can betterly give her a better home and everything. Okay, so to the middle of the story that I was. So it became a little bit, I was like, this is the child that I brought up. This is the child that I love. This is the child that I call my own. What are you talking about? Well, so the father said, well, I just came from abroad and I want my baby. I want to take care of my child and all that here and there. And I said, what if about all these years that you abandoned the child and the mother? And I thought, and he was like, well, I'm going to take you to court. And I said, well, if you're going to take me to court, I didn't adopt that girl legally or anything. I just took her home because I felt like I could give her a better home than hawking on the streets with the mom and everything. Well, to cut the long story short, what happened was I confronted the lady and I said, you gave this child to me willingly, and then I gave her home. You see her all this while, all these years she's been walking around visiting you and all that. Not once that you mentioned that the father is looking for the girl, or the father is coming for the girl or anything. But now that she has grown up, that there's little you can do for her, you want the child back. Well, she told me that, well, the father is in abroad, and if he wants the child back, she has no choice but to take the child back. You see the pain? You see how it is. You see how difficult it is. And the problem is, I didn't adopt the child legally. Well, at that time, when I adopted the child, I didn't have a child of my own. But in the middle of it, I have my own 2 children, which are grown up right now. Yeah, my kids are grown up. They're all teenagers right now. So I have other kids also here and there, because some of them are, they don't have parents and all that. Some of them are, I picked them from the street and I gave them home. So it's not up to me to get any proper document or do anything legally, because I just feel like I'm doing the right thing, as we call ourselves Christians. Okay, so to cut a long story short, the girl went with his mother. Yeah, with her mother and the father and everything. And they were living. I was like, the guy wanted to marry the lady and everything. They built a home, they got married and everything. That would have been a good story. That's the end of the story. That's what we all want, right? Beautiful ending and everything. But the question is, what about the one who gave her a home, the one who brought her up when she was only 3 years old? Even when I got this little girl, she was sick. There is the disease called kwashiorkor. Her belly was big and hair, there was no hair and all that, sick and everything. She spent so much time in the hospital, but God willing, she was fine and everything. Well, that's what happened. So if you have adopted any child illegally, please make sure that you do the proper document, especially those that you don't have children of your own, and you have taken maybe your sister's children, or your relative, or somebody that you know from the street or your neighborhood. Let me tell you, they are coming back for it. They will come back for those children. I have tons of story. I have tons of some people that even run away. There was this guy that I also adopt, and he grew up. He wanted to do independently, and for me, I'm strict, because you have to do the right thing. You know, you want to be a better, successful person in the near future. So because of that, he just decided to run away, and he left. I looked for him. I reported to the police. This is another story though. I reported to the police and everything. Well, he came out and said, well, he's a grown-up and he can live his life, so I just let him be. Recently, I find him on the street, and I found out that things has been very, very difficult for him, and he didn't make it the way I wish he would have made it. Okay, now let's go back to one of the Saribi story that she put it out, that brought me to recognition that I have to do this video particularly and talk about illegal adoption. Now let me take a little bit tea break, and we will get back to it.
Music.
If you just join me, we are talking about illegal adoption and legal adoption. What are the consequences of those actions that we take? So if you have any children, anybody that you are helping at home that you want to call the child your own, or somebody that you call your child and you are not biological child, you're not biological parent or biological mother or father to that child, please do the proper document. The problem is they will go back. I'm taking a tea break so that you can refresh the story, and I'll get back to one of the celebrity story that brought this or the whole topic. Woo! If you have experience or you have a story to tell about this particular story that I'm talking about, you can say I want to be your guest and I'll add you to the video. If you just tune in, we are talking about illegal and legal adoption. Illegal and legal adoption. Your voice is perfect to work on the radio. Mercy Hosanna. Yes, I'm on the radio. If you don't know, I'm on the radio. I've been in radio for decades. Thank you very much. Let me read some small comments here. What are your thoughts on international adoption? It's so expensive to adopt illegal from abroad. Well, I'll come back to it after my tea break. I will address it. AD Richardson, I will address that. I miss you so much, Mom. Oh, my dear daughter. Wow, welcome back. Yeah, I miss you too. But you are not one of those who run away. Do you have a family member who has adopted the children or adopted someone illegally or legally? What are the consequences? Have you heard about children are going back to their roots? Have you heard that children are going back to where they came from? And do you know that the family members are coming for those children? What are the consequences about our illegal adoption? I just want to say hello to Joseph Ankara, Joseph Ankoma, and Ericus Chum. Also, Omane Azaba, Mercy Hosanna. Sewa Papebi. Yeah, I miss you too, my daughter. If you just join me, we are talking about illegal adoption and also legal adoption. Not in abroad. Not in abroad though, in Africa. Woo! Let me take this opportunity to say hello to Arita Akwaye and Baba Naz. Yeah, hello, wonderful people. If you just join me, we are Omane Azaba. Thank you very much for joining me. Musa Ali. We are talking about illegal adoption and legal adoption in Africa. This music is for legend Daddy Lumba. Hey. Sometimes are dangerous. Sometimes are dangerous. break and say thank you to Thousand Jordan, Baby, and also Fred AG. Thank you very much for joining me. I want to say a big shout out to Barbara Donko. Thank you for joining me. We are talking about illegal and legal adoption. Ghana. Okay, Arita Okwaye, I'll come back to that. Before my tea break or I play the music, there was a question from Adi Rich Hudson. He said, what are your thoughts on international adoption? It's so expensive to adopt illegal from abroad. All right, my dear, this is the thing, okay? It's better to adopt wherever you are, which is legally, okay? Which is legally. You can also adopt from Africa legally. But when you adopt, there's a difference between Africa and abroad, okay? In abroad, if you adopt a child, let me tell you, their chance of going back is very slim. If you take like 100% or a percentage of 100, their chance of going back is 1%, because you'll be giving the child a home that they never thought they could have gotten, okay? And also, because the adoption is legally, there's no way the child will be going back. They may go back and visit their family, but they will never go back or go bye-bye or leave your life for good. When you adopt a child from abroad, the child is yours forever. But you know how we Africans are, my dear? When you adopt a child in Africa, the child is not automatically yours. It's either they brainwash the child when the child is grown up, or the child will decide to go back one day, no matter what, whether it's legal or illegal. I can bet you $1,000 that these children will go back. Why is it that? Well, because in abroad, they understand something called legal. They understand the law. They go by the law. They abide the law, okay? But in Africa, the law is on their hands. Even the child itself, when even the child grown up and find out that they were adopted, those children turn out to be great, successful in life, because they want you to know that they are appreciated. And even though no matter what you do, they think, or they have a thought that if you haven't adopted them legally, or if you haven't adopted them, what life would have come out of them? Okay, they are grateful. But in Africa, they are ungrateful. Even in abroad, when you adopt a child, the child can visit their parents or biological parents, or they can always visit whoever, gave the child to you. But there will be nothing like, I'm going to live with my parents, bye-bye, to hell with you. That will not happen. That is not going to happen. But if you adopt them in Africa, your chance of keeping the child 100%, and they are also ungrateful. That is the problem. I'm a living testimony, and very soon I'll come back to the story about Miss Bill. The reason why I'm talking about adoption today, because I feel like it's something that we need to educate ourselves. We need to give a thought of it before we do it. So I would say, if my dear brother Adi Richardson, if you're based in abroad, please, it's not that expensive. It depends on where you go. I don't know which country you are, whether Europe or Germany, UK, wherever, but then let me tell you, there are so many places that you can adopt a child legally that there will be no problem and it won't be that expensive. There are so many children there are so many girls out there who want to abort the baby, but if they have a word that they have someone who's going to give their child a home, no woman is a murderer. No woman is a murderer. They will definitely have that baby and give it to you, and it won't cost you that much. And I don't think adoption is by selling the baby. It's about doing the right documentation, and also make sure that you have a home to bring the child up. That is what the adoption is all about. Make sure you have a stable job, good for your finance and everything, and also something shows that you don't have any criminal background or things like abuse or things like that, where you can adopt a baby. Oh, you are in the US. If you're in the US, don't go to big cities. Like if you're in the US, according to if you're in the US, I will say you can go to places like Ohio. There are so many villages like Toledo, Ohio, Salina, Ohio. There are so many places which are small village, like Nashville and other places, where you can go and adopt a baby that it will not cost you, because there are so many children who are in the foster home that they need a home. Okay, thank you very much. So I mean, it's up to you, whatever advice you decided to do. But for me, I would say wherever you are is the best place to adopt, because doing it in Africa is not worth it. It is not worth it at all. All right, let me go back to another question. Arita Kwaye. I'm thinking of adopting my sister's daughter from Ghana today, USA, because my sister passed away and I want to bring her here. Oh, my dear, that is fantastic. If your sister passed away and you have the capability to adopt that child, please do, because you are going to give her a home that your sister will be forever be grateful to you on her grave, and I mean the child will be forever be grateful to you. That is a perfect way to adopt. But what I'm talking about, when the two parties are alive, let's say the father and the mother is alive, and you adopt them illegally, that is where the problem is. That is where the problem is. So if your sister has passed away, please, that's the best thing you can do. Adopt the child, but make sure that you do the proper documentation. You change all the birth certificate into your name. You make sure that the court, you go to the court and sign, the child will sign, or they can use your template and do so that legally the child is yours. That whenever, I mean, when the child grow up in abroad or whatever, they won't be like, oh, you are not my mom. If my mom was alive, they would have given me a better room, a better home than you have given me. But I know how it is. Nobody can take care, or nobody can give your child a better life than yourself. You know what I'm coming from? So yes, I've been there. I have tons of girls and boys that they come and go. Some people stay till they get married before they go. I mean, I have so many children I can't even mention their name. I can proudly mention their name, that when they came to live with me, they stayed, they grew up, they got married. Today they have a better life, you know. And there's some people who left for no reason, who left because their family member came for them. Some of them, their even uncles came from abroad and said, oh, bring them here. I want the child to take over my house for me. And they become a houseboy, thinking that they are going to give them a better life. But it turns out to be they just want you to be watching their house for them. Then it's too late. You can never come back. So my advice is just make sure you do the proper documentation. Never ever take anyone for granted. Never take anything for granted, because what is happening right now is not something that you and I want to witness it, because I've been there, done that. Okay, Merry Christmas, Musa Ademu. Hey, my dear brother Foster Dankwa, you are watching. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, everyone. If you want to be my guest, you can also be part of it. You can just say, I want to be your guest, and I'll add you to the video. All right. Thank you. I'm reading the comments. Okay. All right. Foster said, true talk, my dear sister. God bless you more in Jesus' name. Thank you very much, my dear brother. Amen. All right. Now let's go back to... Okay, someone said, I figure it's easier to adopt a child from Ghana. Sure, if that is what is okay for you, or that is what you feel like, that is very good. I mean, as long as you have a good home to adopt the baby from, that is important. But make sure you do the proper documentation. Okay, fantastic. Arita Aqua, thank you very much. Okay, so you said the father is no longer here also with us, so we don't know the family members. Okay, that is fine. That is the best way to adopt the child. Somewhere that a child that who has nowhere to go, or has no family member, they are nobody to turn to. Because the reason why I'm saying this is that, okay, God forbid if you can't have a child of your own, and you have given this child a home, a life that you would have given to your own child. Do you want the child to go back? It's not that easy to let it go. But hey, yes, it ordinary or the bonkum energy. So the mission. It is better to do the proper documentation or adopt a child that has no parents or are homeless or found on the street. That is the best way to adopt, because if you are going to adopt a child without any proper documentation, don't you dare do that. All right, thank you too, my dear sister. Thank you too. Yeah, it's easier, but bringing them is not easy. That's right, it's easy to have baby, but bringing them up or yeah, that's where the problem is. All right, no problem. Adepa Diamond Sweetness, thank you very much for joining me. Frankie Siama, thank you also joining me as well. Hema Wisu and Son. All right, now let's go to Miss Bell. Miss Bell is one of the musicians who has been in Ghana music for decades. I mean, she's phenomenal. Afisha Frankie Siama, thank you very much, and thank you for anyone who has joined me or watching me right now. We are talking about illegal adoption and legal adoption. What are the consequences of illegal adoptions? So if you have a child or family member who has adopted a child, make sure that you do proper documentation. Now let's go back to the story. Miss Bell is one of the musician who has been in Ghana industry for decades. Yeah, she's a phenomenal musician. All right, so we all know his son James, what's his name, James, something like that. Miss Bell adopted this child when I think the child was only 2 years old. The mother has 4 children and all that. So as a young upcoming artist, she thought it wise that, let me say a big shout out to Jennifer Sewa and PJ. Thank you very much for joining me. Posini Jemima Pia Cranting, thank you very much, Kran. Thank Apia Kran. Thank you very much for joining me as well. So Miss Bell adopted this child when the child was, I think, 2 years old or 3 years old. The mother already had 4 children. So Miss Bell thought it wise that I'm a young girl. I have full of life and everything. The son is John. Okay, the son is John. Thank you very much. Okay, it's John and James. Okay, James is biological. Okay, good. Thank you very much, Arita Aqua. In fact, when I saw Miss Bell's story, it brought tears into my eyes. I was like, why do we people that we have a good heart always end up being hurt when we give people home and they decided to just live our lives? But people doesn't know that when you give them your time, you give them your home, you are giving them your life. And when they decided to leave, it's like something that is part of you has left you. But I don't know whether they think about that or they just decided to do, or they don't have any feelings. Okay, so what happened was, we all know John. Miss Bell has always treated this boy as his own child, and nobody knew about this adoption. But what happened about, was it 3 days or 4 days ago, is there was Miss Bell's birthday, okay? A day before her birthday. And then this girl has finished high school. She, like I said, she took the son when he was, I think, 2 or 3 years old and brought this young boy up. The boy is now 19 years old. Imagine how many years he has lived with Miss Bell and everything, the school fees, everything. I mean, she was a mother to that boy, and nobody knew about it, except a few of us that we knew that that child was adopted. So what happened is that the mother went to Miss Bell home and said, I'm going to take my son back because people are saying that I can't take care of my own child. And Miss Bell was like, what are you talking about? John is mine. I adopted John when he was only 3 or 2 years old. So you can't take him back. He's mine. And the whole world knows John is mine. But well, the mother has a fit. And there was a whole fight and everything, throwing things and everything. Well, Miss Bell didn't ask the boy's opinion. Maybe it was the boy who went to mom and said, hey, mom, I want to come home. See? All right, so when Miss Bell adopted this child, she didn't do any proper documentation because she adopted the child by good heart and decided to give him a home that the mother can never give it to him. So she brought this child home, brought him up. He has finished high school, about to go to college. Now the mother has come to take the son away. And the most upsetting things, the most painful thing is that the child or John went back to his mom. Yeah, he did. Which is, I'm also a living testimony. So listening to Miss Bell's story, and I was like, wow, so I'm not alone in this. Why do we get paid back like this? Why people like us that have a good heart always end up being hurt? Is it bad to give people home? Is it a bad idea to have a good heart? Why you think that you can also breed another person's child and brought them up, make them becoming somebody in a society? In a society, but yet the family doesn't want that. So my question to you, all the wonderful viewers and wonderful audience, is that is it right to adopt a child illegally? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Thank God, like I said, thank God I have my own biological children, and thank God you may have your own biological children. But if you feel like you want to give another child a home to call their home, or no matter what, because before you decided to bring somebody to your home, you have accepted the child, you have accepted the person to be part of your life, knows everything about you, your life, everything, okay? So make sure that you do a proper documentation, no matter what. Don't say, oh, the child is my sister's son or my sister's daughter, or my brother's, or my nephew, my niece, my cousin, my everything, or my uncles, whatever it is. Please make sure you do a proper documentation, because what I've seen is that Miss Bell's story is just a sample, but I've had people coming to me and said, can you do this in Nsempi or your talk show about children that we adopt illegally from a family members are coming for them? Yes, they wait. The painful thing is they wait till you brought those children up to the certain level that they may not need your help anymore. All that they need is maybe further education a little bit or get a job, and the family member will come for them. And because that you didn't do any proper documentation, they have every right to come back for that child. And remember, you have given that child a life that they can never forget. But hey, if they decided to go back, they can always go back. And regardless of whatever you will feel, they just want to go back, and there's nothing you can do about it. Let me take a tea break, and if you have any comments, you can also pass it down there, and then we continue. Let me take this opportunity to say a very welcome to Nana Yabua, Keisha Williams, Mau Ifa, Charity Kwatima, Hajia, Haj Shabu, Vincent King, O'Neill Efriye, Rita Sechi, Sibor, Max, and all the wonderful people who are joining me right now. If you missed the topic after the video, you can pre-watch the video or you can play back again. But my question is it right to adopt someone from your family member or anybody illegally or legally? What are the consequences of our action? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. O'Neill, it's been a while, Frema Shows. We miss you. Oh, thank you very much. I've been busy doing here and there, but hey, Frema Shows is back. That's right. Once I'm taking a break, if you have any comments, you can also pass it as well. If you just join me, we are talking about illegal adoption in Africa, Ghana per se. Let me take this opportunity to say Larry Bamba, thank you for joining me. Sinsibu Kabo, thank you very much for joining me as well. join me, we are talking about illegal and legal adoptions. What are the consequences that we African goes through, especially Ghana and all African nations? Have you ever adopted a child illegally? Or what happened after you adopt the child or you brought the child up? Did the child stay or live in your life? It doesn't matter how old they are. Sometimes you can even bring somebody as young as maybe 20 something, and you just feel like they are good child. You can bring them, you can give them a better home, but yet they end up turning their back against you. Lucy Sako, their season greetings, beautiful. Thank you very much, girl. You're doing great.
Some guys are dangerous. 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 The man is in the end, it's up to us.
Let me say a big shout out to Queen Dilove and Frank Kwau, and also my boss Prince Kwesi Dazi. Thank you very much. You do all, and so do you, boss. I'm learning from you. And Judy Foster, thank you all for joining me. Is it right to adopt a child illegally, and is it right to adopt them illegally? What are the consequences of our action? If you have any child that you have adopted illegally, please, you better do proper documents, because those children are going back. Larry Bamboo, I like it. Thank you very much, Prince Season Greeting Obroni Bakope. You know the name, right? Thank you very much. Kofi Ejekum, thank you very much for joining me. If you just joined me, we are talking about illegal adoption and legal adoption in Africa, Ghana. Like I always said, the music is by legend Daddy Lumba. Yes, Let me take this opportunity to say hello to Joe Apia, Mami Nawala, and Moses Savano. That's right. Some girls are dangerous. Some girls are dangerous. Some girls are dangerous. Yay! Big shout out to Yamula. Some girls are dangerous. And man, you soon get it into us. Some girls are dangerous. Man, you soon get it into us. All right, welcome back. I want to say a big shout out to Ahen Christopher and Veronica Arno. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Coco Batabroni Frame Shows. I'm talking about illegal and legal adoption in Africa and Ghana as well. Well, like I said, you heard the story and the tons of other people who have also bear witness to all these things, that it is better to adopt a child legally. You know what? One advice I want to give it to my young fellows or anybody who wish to adopt. So DJ Kick Mick GH, big shout out to you. Big shout out to you, Mr. Is that if you're a young man or a young woman out there and you get pregnant, say no to abortion, okay? So say no to abortion, because you never know who will take care of you in the near future. You never know what that child will turn out to be. And also, you can also bless the child with another home. And when you do give the child to another home, please let them stay there, because they have given them a life that maybe you couldn't have given to the child. They have given them love, attention, and all the time, the years. Man, it is not easy to brought children up. Okay, I have children of my own, and I know how hard it is when they were babies, especially when you have boys. It's like, are they ever going to grow up? You know what I'm talking about? Grace Gifty, Oprah, Pepra, and then Agnes Osei, and everyone. Thank you, Isaac Techi. Thank you all for joining me as well. Let me read one comment and continue. Oh, wow. Okay, Lucille Sarkodie, she's based in the United States. She said, when it comes to adoption, even if you adopt legally, when the child grows up, they sometimes look for their biological parents. Okay, my dear sister, if you adopt them legally, okay, legally, they can look, it is all right in the law for them to look back to where they came from. Some of the children will go back and realize that you have given them a home that they will have never wish of having, or if it wasn't you, they will not have this opportunity, or no, they will never becoming who they are becoming right now. Some people will go back and come back and appreciate you for the rest of their life. Well, and because you are adopting legally, there is no way they can go back, because the law is the law, and there's nothing, whether abroad, Ghana, Africa, anywhere, there's no way they can go back. They can look back, like you said, but they can never go back permanently. Like I have been away. Some people, they come to you, you adopt them, and they go back. They can never go back because it's legal. It's legal. Okay, anything that is illegal, that is where they can always go back and change their mind and say, hey, well, I made up my mind to live with you, or I decided to come and live with you, but I want to go back to where I came from. I want to go and live with my parents, because sometimes you may be strict parents and they want to go back to their parents and do freedom and everything. And you know that there's a difference between a mother who brought a child up and to a parent or a mother who didn't bring the child up. When you brought a child up, you are straight about certain things. There are certain things that you do not about because you want the child to grow up to become successful, so that you'll be grateful or you'll be honored in the near future, right? So there are certain things. Let's say a child will stay on the TV the whole night and stay up until what, 2 o'clock, or your a child will, you can never allow your children to stay up all night long watching movie or whatever, regardless what they are doing on the computer or the TV or whatever they are watching. Okay, wow, my dear Baba Spirit, thank you very much. I miss you, brother. Ransford Dakon, Ademo Isaac, Ade Kofi, Margaret AJ, Kazia Goodwill, Nanaya Ponetu, Kwame Boateng, Sapon Emmanuel, Evelyn Yako, Hajia, Alhaji also watching, Sapon Emmanuel, and Amudu Idrisu. Thank you very much for joining me. Baba, yes, so thank you, my dear brother. Thank you. I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you. Anyway, so there is no way the child can say, oh, you allow the child to stay on the TV till 2 a.m. Hell no. In your house, there is always time for everything. And when you brought a child up, you train them as your own. You become a straight mother because you know what is best for them. Well, Vincent King, if you have a child that Nana Dafo, thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, I'll be behind the scene, Baba Spirit, because of the lockdown and everything. Nothing is moving, so we're in the low key. But I'll be back. I'll bounce back very soon. Vincent King, he said, Vincent King, okay, I have a child that is not legally adopted. If you haven't legally adopted that child, I would advise you to do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait. I don't know how old is the child though. I don't know how old is it, but no matter what, even the child is grown up or anything, make sure you legally adopt them. You have to do the right thing. Don't take things for granted like I have, like Miss Bell did. You just saw a child from maybe on the streets, and you say, hey mom, can I think I can give your child a better home. I have a free room and all that. I have what it takes to raise your child so that the child will become a better person in the society. But the problem is they will grow up and go back. So Vincent Ken, if you haven't adopted a child legally, please, you're making a big mistake. You better do it, and do it now. Thank you very much, Ransford Dakon. Thank you very much for watching me for United States. My regards to everyone. Yeah, Nana Amadou Fie Kofi. Okay, let me read this. Frank Esiama, yes, illegal adoptions are born on goodwill basis. It is adopted, decided to leave. A majority human. Okay, well, that is what I'm saying. But if they decided to leave legally, they are your children, so they can always come back, or they can never leave, knowing that there is a evidence or there's a documentation says that. Let me tell you something. The Africa mentality of everything is about documentation. If the child grow up and find out that my family or my parents gave me to you legally, what can they do? They say, oh, if they want me, let me tell you the mentality of the children, okay? If my parents want me that bad, or if my mom or my dad want me that bad, they will not sign documentation and give me to you when I mean legally. So that you see what I'm talking about? That is the thing. But if you just took a child out of sympathy and just brought them up, and you in your mind that you think that you adopted a child from them, well, they can always go back, and there's no documentation showing that you adopted a child, so they can always go back. Yes. And also you have no proof. They say, well, you have a good heart, you took me in, well, it's time for me to go, so they will go back. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. So if you adopt them legally, there's no way they can go back. They have documents that say, well, your parents gave you to me legally, so there's no way you can go back. Well, if you want to go back, go ahead and go back, but they know that it's always your home. And you, even you person or me person, if I know, for instance, if I know that I have adopted that child, oh my goodness, you see, I just read that. Let me read this comment. Okay, thank you very much, Ivy Nakwashi. Frank Amo Esel, thank you very much for joining me. Let me read my own brother. This is my own brother. I also have it. You see, we that you see on social media and maybe media personnel or everything, sometimes we just build a home through you guys, your help and your support. If God bless us with this platform and everything, what we want to do is give it back to society. And now I'm reading a message from Baba Spirit. Baba Spirit is one of the top comedians in Ghana, if you don't know. But he said, I was arrested and accused of kidnapping one prince. CIA is the grandmother wasn't okay. Adopted a son. I just wanted to support without legal adopting him. We're supporting the mother also. I mean, you see what I'm talking about? That is what I'm saying, my dear brother. I have a lot of story to tell you. I have a lot of boys and girls who have come and go, and I have some of them who came and stay. That's what I'm talking about. So no matter what, you have to, especially we that we in the front line, people like public figure like you are, a top comedian, a radio presenter and everything. If you have a child that you want to adopt, make sure that you do the proper documentation. It takes one drop to bring you down. And imagine you being arrested and accused of kidnapping because you want to give a child a home. I've been there, done that. By the end of the day, they know that they could have let that child stay. Well, like I said, I won't take much of your time. I won't take much of your time since I've already gave you all the what I have in mind, the thought and everything. So that is what I wanted to talk about today: illegal and legal documentation. Make sure before you adopt a child, no matter what, don't take any family member for granted. Let me say a big shout out to Safo Samuel, Amankwa Esther. Thank you very much for joining me. Ezel Odale Olade, thank you very much for joining me. Obapa Frankoma Afrakoma, thank you very much for joining me as well. So let's say you were in abroad, especially my people in abroad. And one thing I've seen we African is that the moment you go to abroad, you guys go to abroad, you have a good heart. Okay, the same way goes to people like us, that we are public figures. The moment God bless you with a big flat platform and opportunity and you're able to build a home, what you want to do is you give it back to the society. Giving it back to society is also helping people and give them home, that one day you can be proud of yourself and say, yes, I did this. Yes, I brought this person up. Okay, it's a privilege and it's an opportunity that we have gotten, and so do my people in abroad, those who based in abroad. Sometimes you adopt your sister's children or something just to give them a better home. But one thing that we don't do is doing something legally. Okay, we just adopt them and bring them here, or travel or something, or give them a home. But we forgot that someday they'll go back to their roots. Someday they'll go back to their real parents. And what is left for us? The question is, are we doing it the right way? Or are we still going to go back to our old-fashioned way that we adopt children without doing any proper documentation? That is my topic for today. I want to say very thank you to all of you who have joined me from beginning to now. I want to say thank you. And also make sure if you are in abroad, especially my people in abroad. All right, let me say a big shout out to Oshin Joshua, Courage, Warasi, Dakun, Philip Edusei. Yeah, hi. For Big Sweet, thank you all for joining me. Today's topic was illegal and legal adoption. Well, that is what I have to say. If you were in abroad and you have it doesn't matter where the child came from, whether it's from your sister, your brother, or your extended family, make sure that you do the proper documentation. If you haven't done it, it is not too late. You need to do it. Someday, if that child wants to go back, you say, hey, here's the proper document. You are mine. I adopted you and gave you a home. It is okay to go back and visit. It is okay to look back to where you came from. But when you go, this home will always be yours. I've seen so many child taken away from other people that they never look back. And sometimes when I look at them, I say, oh my God, I wish that child would have stayed with me, would have turned out to be a better person, or giving them just the same opportunity that you are giving to your children as well. Well, when you have a good heart, that's what happens. Nobody will adopt a child and abuse the child. Nobody will adopt a child and not treat them as their own. We adopt them because we feel like we can give them a better home than where they are. You know, but it turns out to be a nightmare. And it can happen to you. If it has happened to me, happened to Miss Bell, happened to Baba Spirit, it can also happen to you as well. Imagine Baba Spirit going to jail for, you know, adopting someone's child because it's not legally, you know, they didn't do any legal documentation. That's what happened. So make sure you do the proper documentation. If you have a friend that has adopted a child, please don't say, hey, it's my sister's child, they will never count for it. They will count for it. Oh yes. And then, you know what, it doesn't take long for some people to be ungrateful. So make sure you do the proper documentation. Yeah, make sure you do the proper documentation. And my advice for the young men and boys out there, like girls out there, if you happen to get pregnant, please have the baby. I have seen people who had abortion when they were young and they have never able to conceive again. Today, their marriage. Oh, my dear sister, you look like our mother, Sister Ajua. That is so nice of you, Rest for that. Thank you very much. Well, a mother is a mother. I can be a mother to anyone, you know. Yes, so thank you very much. Well, so make sure you have the child. If you are pregnant and you're thinking about abortion, say no to abortion. You never know what this child will turn out to be. There are so many children that the parents wanted to abort them, and it turned out to be great. Look at DJ Sweet. DJ Sweet is one of the most phenomenal DJ. Why? Because the mother wanted to abort that baby, and God said, hey, there's no way you're aborting that baby. Today, she's one of the best product Ghana's ever had. And don't you want the story like that? Don't you ever abort a baby? Say no to abortion, and make sure when you also adopt a child, please make sure it's legal. And my name is Coco Butter Burning Frema Shows. Well, the new time is 2 p.m. US time, so we meet the same time next week. Tell a friend to tell a friend to join us. I have a sensitive topic to talk about. Next week topic, you don't want to miss it, and so do your friends. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to log into Frema Shows this and every Wednesday, baby. It's about to go down. Thank you, Peter Sapra and Asamoah Pratt. Mutaka Kaka, thank you very much for joining me. Today's topic was illegal adoption. Illegal adoption, what are the consequences and regrets? Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time.
Good music. Your family called your dads.
Big shout out. Big shout out to all the wonderful people who have joined me from since I started, and thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very, very, very much. We'll talk soon, and I'll see you guys, like I said, the same time next week.
Your family called your dads. Say me ne ana money aji. Don't let me, Mr. Benji. Frema vision, what you got for me? Frema bunching my word. Frema so, Frema so. Frema fanta say the story I know. Frema so. Frema is the better girls I know. See, finest girl, 1 in a million. Oh, she be the finest, see, finest girl.
Like I said, with a grateful heart, I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone who tuned from beginning to the end. Don't forget to share the video and tell a friend to tell a friend to meet me the same time next week. Next week, we're going to talk about something special. I don't want to give the topic out because it's going to give you an idea of what we're going to talk about. But make sure you tell a friend to log in. 2 p.m. USA time.
She come Kabylie, so anytime me I see this girl, me I see her, I send her from John. And she come like she always make my day. She still fine past Gaga. She touch everywhere too bad. Hey, back up, boom, make me mad. Let's go to the green, lie, this girl don't keep me shy. Sherry, don't make me shiver. Sherry, no, don't make me shiver.
It's bye-bye from him. No one that be shame me. Friends so many to me. What did I do? Be a woman, I'm for being the way if you hear it. Ha! Now, Michelle, that me. Which you have your son, a young woman. When I'm even when the end of me, two for the whole time, I won't have. Oh, dear, you could have.
La dream painting, I'm a trainer. Oh, one will be a one trainer. Oh, Cressy by Papa Trainer. Oh, in the plus.
Brand of one sick.
Oh, now it's their man who can the next is my empress. My mistress. Oh, look at him, I'm a princess. The fattest, the finest, the hottest girl in the world. I like her. Frema so. Frema vision, what you got for me? Frema so. Frema don't change my word. Frema so. Frema fanta say the story I know. Frema so. Frema is the better girls I know. The name that she not the action. The name told me I keep me. Electricity.
Thank you very much. After this music, it's bye-bye from me. I'll see you the same time next week. Oh, my dear sister, I miss you so much. Opese Lezi Akoto and John Azago. Happy Priscilla John. Oh, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you the same time, 2 p.m. next week. Like I said, I have a hot topic to talk about next week.
See what's talking about. Obi mentioned you no good for me. What did I want for?
Opese, thank you. Frontana also draw. I come there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. swear, mama, your body so sweet. More than sugar,
The true at the top,